Welcome to episode 56 of Cinema Curse. Tonight, I forgot how I did the intro. I didn't actually think of one. I'm having that Monica Bellucci podcast again. It's Twin Peaks: The Return. We're covering parts 10 through 14 on Twin Peaks Club Volume 12. I am your Wicked Game Master, Connor Lloyd Crews. I can't even pronounce words right. I'm just too excited to talk about these good episodes of Twin Peaks that I love. But I am here today with Bri Robert.
Hey guys.
With Scott Heaton.
Hey everyone, good to see you.
Jason Steele.
Hello.
And Robert Benfer should be showing up at some point shortly. But I want to thank Marina Sakamoto and her band Shunkin for the use of the song Curse off the EP She Nods for our opening. It's been 539 days since the strike ended and the AMPTP still sucks. How is everybody doing?
Doing all right, not too bad. Can't complain.
Nice. I had a discovery. I'm doing another rewatch of this show while this is going, and we're like towards the beginning of season 2, and the sound that they keep hearing at the Great Northern is used in the original show, and when the dream that Cooper has, and also when the giant appears in season 2. So there's clearly something there. I don't know what that means exactly, but I'm sure it means something to someone.
Yeah, I love that because David Lynch did so much of the sound design in the show himself, that there are little things like that where you know there's some reason for it, whether it's part of some sort of connection or just thematic or just vibes, whatever it is, it's there for a reason.
Yeah, and speaking of things that he did himself, this drawing he does in part 10, that's clearly his art style. Hey Bobby, we literally just got started. We were champing at the bit, as they literally say, because that's the correct way to say it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
Hey.
We
just started talking about part 10.
Are you recording this show?
Yeah, we're doing the show.
Hold on, I'm trying to find my camera.
Okay. 10 opens with or I forget where it opens because I always move stuff around, but 10 we've got in Twin Peaks, Richard Horn, who we kind of I think confirm his name. We were calling him Devil Kid last time, but Richard Horn assaults the witness and calls Chad, the shitty police officer, to intercept the letter she sent, which Lucy notices. And in one of the more upsetting scenes of the season, Richard Horn visits his grandmother and disabled uncle, from characters we haven't seen since the original show. I forget the mom's name, but Johnny Horn. It's Audrey's mom and brother.
Yeah.
That's a rough one.
Yeah.
That's a rough scene.
It is.
He's a real asshole.
You didn't.
Yeah.
I
You
guess
didn't think that was cute.
I guess they don't technically confirm at this point that he is. We haven't gotten full confirmation that he is Johnny's nephew. We just know that he is Ben and his wife's grandson. But I'll go ahead and say that he's the uncle. And then we also Hawk gets another call from Margaret. Laura is the one. And I forget how long it goes in the series with how many of those log lady calls we get.
Yeah, I was surprised. I assumed she was only in the first 2 episodes, so it was nice to see her again.
Yeah.
I know they filmed those all at the same time.
I remember her being till near the end.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I just saw that the log lady documentary the other week, and it was crazy because it was just real time of all that happening. And the day they got that to happen, it was she pushed everything she had in her to just make that shooting happen. And Lynch did it via Skype. He had a full just different crew and set up, and they said right after that she just went right back. They hadn't seen her that strong. So what we got is just lucky, very, very lucky.
Well, they clearly, I think it all being the same character on the other side of the phone and it all being the same locations, it's clearly they just all shot it in one go. And they all just had it written. But yeah, no, I don't remember it being spaced out throughout the season as much as it has been, weirdly. I remember it kind of being more isolated. I remember it being isolated towards the beginning. But in Vegas, Dougie goes to the doctor. He's in great shape, and that makes Janie horny. And they go back home in a really funny scene. Have some great arm floppingly good sex.
Dougie seems to love it.
Yeah,
Dougie's having a good time.
We call that the Benfer.
Yeah, and they seem to genuinely be. I think a little bit about I just rewatched that season 2, the first season 2 episode, and when he's dying and he's talking to Diane, one of the things he says he wishes he could have done before dying is made love to a beautiful woman who he had real affection for. So yeah. We finally this episode we get some good fucking Mitchum's Brothers content. This is when we really kind of introduce them. Candy, the main of the 3 girls. I forget the difference between the Mitchum brothers. I think of them as the one that's Jim Belushi and the one who isn't Jim Belushi.
That's basically it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But Candy, the main girl, that name I know, she feels guilt for hitting not Jim on the face. And she's clearly dealing with some shit in these episodes. She's pretty out of it. They end up recognizing Dougie as Mr. Jackpots and start connecting him to this web of stuff that they're involved with, like the Ike the Spike character in the previous episodes. Meanwhile, Mr. Todd, his name is Duncan Todd, which sounds a lot like Jason Todd to me. But the Utz guy from Mad Men, aka the guy from the diner in Mulholland Drive, he summons Sizemore. Yeah. He's pulling the strings on that side, and he hates the Mitchums, and he's trying to set them up to get rid of Dougie, or Sizemore will have to do it. And this is kind of bringing shape to all this stuff that's been going on. We kind of actually now know, okay, well, these are the players, and these are what they're doing exactly. And then at the casino, Sizemore talks to the brothers and puts them onto Dougie's scent, and also Candy takes forever to bring them up. But in the over the FBI side, Albert goes on a date with Jane Addams, which Gordon loves. In a cute scene, Gordon draws this drawing and sees Laura at the door. And they also, at this point, Albert and Gordon know about Diane secretly texting Mr. C behind their back. And they've also now directly connected the glass box from the beginning of the season to Mr. C. And then up at the Roadhouse for the shortest episode of the season, we get the longest performance from Rebecca Del Rio and a chevron top, no less. Yeah, that's that episode. I love that.
I love a Mitchum Brothers spinoff.
Yeah. Honestly, that would be funny. It's just and have it be pitched at like the last couple scenes with them, like at that kind of level of something where they're like old cartoon gangsters. You know what I mean? Like they're not actually dangerous. Like they're like this concept of an idea of dangerous, but they're also just kind of like they seem like kind of like chill dudes. They're just kind of nice.
I'm not afraid of them.
No, I'm not afraid of them. And what's interesting is they're kind of, in a way, they there's a lot of stuff in The Return that echoes stuff from the original series, and I think, man, this is one of the more obvious ones, but like they're the new Horn brothers in a way. But the Horn brothers kind of start off scuzzier than the Mitchums do.
Yeah,
Horn brothers.
Yeah.
Man, you can't expect anything good from the Horn brothers.
Yeah, the way the Mitchell brothers are presented, it's like you can't imagine like them doing actual violence. You just imagine cartoon violence.
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna blow someone up, but the bomb blows up for them instead, and then you have them standing there with like
they're covered
stuff
black
all over their face and
Are
their hair sticking up.
Are they like mixing cement because they're gonna like put someone's feet in it, but we don't actually ever see them do it?
They're like Yosemite Sam.
The only guns they have are those old school Tommy guns.
I was gonna say, I would only imagine them successfully killing someone with like a Tommy gun or something.
Well, they have a Tommy gun, but every time they try to shoot it, someone sticks something into the front and it blows up, and the front of it ribbons open.
Stick a carrot in there. Oh, I hate this guy so much. I can't wait to kill him.
Yeah. And I also love this season that David got to do a little concert movie where he got by a bunch of bands he liked, and like, I'll shoot you, lip syncing, but still. But yeah, let's go to part 11. I've got a great screenshot behind me, but I'll wait till the scene happens.
That's one of my maybe top 3 scenes in the whole Return.
Yeah. the lady who got beat up last episode is found by a bunch of kids playing in the middle of the street. I was like, in my head, I'm like, are these kids about to get hit by a car?
You've seen it once.
They should be inside playing Fortnite or something.
These kids are just begging to get hit by a car. Becky,
not enough kids hitting with a car in this show.
Yeah, only one so far, I think.
Only one.
There's some car-related kid stuff this episode. Multiple kids and multiple incidents. Yeah, this we're gonna get to it right away because the way I had this organized, Becky freaks out. Becky's Amanda Seyfried's character because Steven, which Caleb Landry Jones, is cheating on her with Gersten, I think is the character's name. Alicia Witt reprising her role as the youngest Hayward daughter, aka the one who plays the piano at the beginning of season 2. She's also she was also little Alia in his version of Dune, and she's the mom in Longlegs. And she steals Shelley's car. Harry Dean helps Shelley. Later, they talk it out with Bobby at the diner. We establish that Shelley is seeing Begets, which is how the only way Balthazar Getty is a really good friend of mine, and that's kind of like the main way I refer to him. And then at the same, right when that's happening, in a really great sequence, there's a shooting outside the diner because I guess a kid found a gun in the car. And while they're resolving the shooting, the accidental shooting that happened, no one got shot. Bobby is like trying to get this lady behind to stop honking because she won't stop honking. And,
That's going on.
and he
It
goes
takes him a little too long to even start trying to deal with the honking.
I'm describing this as like but it's like, you know, like in classic Twin Peaks: The Return fashion, everything takes forever in a way that's like deliberate and funny. The lady is freaking out because of her sick kid, who you can see rising like a zombie behind me in this
Something wrong.
this great shot. And then she is just, I like what we were talking about this before, Bri, about how she's so like she's very egos, the way she's just like, why is this happening to me? And
it's like our ultimate narcissist bubble. It's just fantastic.
But I also I do get it. It's a big mood. I feel like that all the time, where I'm just like, why is this happening to me?
Yeah, me too.
She has a fantastic scream too while the child is vomiting.
Lynch was just like, I need the most grating cadence ever.
Yeah. What a great scene.
It's a bad kid. You got to get rid of that kid. No good. You can't have that.
Kid's rotten.
Bad rotten kid.
Puking up everywhere.
I love Bobby's look.
Yeah, his reactions are great too. It's just like, what
do I even do?
Yeah. I mean, there is like basically nothing he can do at that point other than just like get everyone to shut the fuck up. And
Get an ambulance. She's something really not good. This is way more. This is just sick. This is rising from the dead. Died.
Well, why did you so upset?
At the sheriff's department, they're looking at maps. Hawk has a cool map that he likes to show everyone, where he has like fire, which is electricity, and there's stuff about like bad corn and death and stuff. And there's a symbol that Frank doesn't want to know about. And then another call from Margaret warns of fire. And another great scene from this episode, the FBI takes William Hastings, Matthew Lillard's character, to an empty lot on Sycamore, it should be said. Apparently this is where he walked in and weird shit happened. They all see a woodsman. Big fucking portal appears, starts sucking Gordon up. I love when it cuts to the wide, like he's like, oh, and then it cuts to the wide shot, and we just see David Lynch like standing there with his arms up. But before he gets sucked in, Albert pulls Gordon out of the portal, and Gordon sees some, like a part of some sort of other realm beyond, with a bunch of woodsmen on some stairs.
A black hole.
Yeah. And in fact, I
put it over. I overlaid it on the stream. So, it's sucking us all in. Whoa! It's a visual gag, but I'm gonna turn that off. No, that's spoilers. I didn't mean to do that. I don't even see what you're. No, on the Zoom I don't see.
It's you can't see it on the Zoom. It's a
okay.
It's a post thing.
I thought we were hanging out. I forgot it was a thing.
They find Ruth's body with coordinates on her arm, which later Diane peeps the digits of. And then most importantly, a woodsman sneaks up and kills William by crushing his head, while Diane seems to deliberately do nothing to prevent it. And there's a great... I feel like it's the Brent Briscoe character who's like, he's dead. Or no, was it Gordon who says he's dead?
He's dead.
Yeah.
And then over in Vegas, this episode is just like 3 really long banger sequences, I feel like. And Dougie, we kind of find out the extent. He's apparently exposed crime and corruption that involves the police and Mr. Todd, and the Mitchums are seemingly innocent and will actually get that huge payout they wanted. But meanwhile, the Mitchums are just talking about how much they hate Dougie and want to kill him. And but also,
I can't wait.
yeah, and it's like, ooh, Frezza.
I hate him so much.
But they also start talking about they introduce a dream that Jim Belushi has. Before their meeting, Dougie is beckoned to a pie shop by Mike, and then goes to the meeting with a mysterious large box, which is, I gotta say, weirdest pie box I've ever seen in my life. I don't know, was the store out of boxes? I don't understand why that box is like that. I understand from our point of view, but it's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
But
they were just going for a gimmick, the pie store. They're like, look, everybody knows our boxes are just regular boxes.
yeah.
Maybe this is the first time someone's ever bought just one pie.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe they usually got to stack them up.
Yeah,
Or
they
buy
were
three at a time.
they were out of the other boxes. Maybe Mike was in there organizing it, and he was like, it would be more dramatically interesting if you did it this way.
Or like an influencer had just come in and bought like all of the pies for like some weird homeless video thing they were gonna do.
Yeah.
And they were stock. Mike's like, I guess go with the weird shit.
And then we get the great desert scene, oblivious Dougie getting brought out to what's presumably going to be his death, just kind of bopping along in the back seat, and things start coming true from the Mitchum's vision, as in sort of a Breaking Bad-esque scene. They're like confronting him in the middle of the desert, and basically it's like, if he has a cherry pie in that box, we can't kill him. And Jim Belushi's so funny in this scene. His delivery of both when he sees it and he's like, cherry pie, and then also the I love this guy is great.
Such a great casting. Like, he's just got such a, like, it's him doing himself and everything he's ever done, but that's what's great about him.
They go out for a fancy dinner. In a scene that made me emotional, Dougie sees the old woman who he helped in like the first couple episodes, and she's
the one who names him Mr. Jackpot.
Yeah, and she's doing great now, and she says to the Mitchums, "I hope you realize what a special person you have dining with you." He basically, this dawned on me last night. Dougie is basically like Paddington Bear in the Paddington movies. He's like a little guy, gets into trouble sometimes, but he just kind of makes everyone's lives around him better. We just want to be next to him all the time. But
Except unlike Paddington, Dougie gets some ass.
Yeah.
it's like being there, you know.
Dougie loves the pie, of course, and we end here with the guy playing piano. So performance, but not at the Roadhouse. Let's see. For what do I have behind me? For part 12. Oh, this guy. I'll reveal him when we get to that scene. Yeah, I feel like on this rewatch, I kind of noticed how some of the episodes held together a little better as singular episodes, like how they would have little like themes or like almost like concepts, like the way they would group. Like last episode, I thought was just kind of like almost like one of their like blockbustery episodes. It has like some pretty big scenes, like the portal scene and the Mitchum Brothers stuff is pretty big hinges for the plot. This one is like the episode where David's just having some fun. He's just goofing around in part 12. Jerry's over in Twin Peaks. Jerry's still in the woods, some Fat Trout stuff, some Dr. Amp and Nadine stuff, but none of it's super important.
Jerry just took like a 500 milligram brownie before this, and just shit. It may last 7 days, so good luck, Jerry.
Truman visits Ben to talk about what Richard did, and Ben gives Frank the key that came in the mail for Harry. And our two big Twin Peaks scenes. Sarah Palmer is literally me at the grocery store. buying lots of alcohol and then freaking out on people for no reason. But no, that's a great scene. Grace Zabriskie is still bringing it. And
I want to the girl at the checkout also gives a pretty good performance of like a teen worker who has just seen something very upsetting. Like, just good performance there.
Like the idea of lore and everything, it's like just a thing that's been told to her, but she has no idea about it. It's the impact of like what Sarah may have been through. She's just a fucking crazy person to her.
Yeah, because he's kind of ranting about the room and all this stuff, and she does say a couple things that we kind of can understand, like when she says something happened to me, which is a heartbreaking line. I think it's cool that I think this season, even with only like the couple scenes they give her, I feel like they do really in kind of the same way that Fire Walk with Me gives like a real grounding to Laura as a character and like where she's at with her stuff. Like, I like how this season deals a little more heavily with like the fallout of what happened to Sarah. Because I feel like once Leland disappears from the original show, so does Sarah for the most part. It
would have been easy not to bring her back.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, just getting this like cause and effect element of it was just great. 28 years divided.
Yeah.
And later the fans are still on at her house as Hawk comes by to check on her. This is basically one of the only real scenes of or anything like really super important to the plot happens. Next, it depends on what you mean by important to the plot. Next we finally get Audrey Horne, and we meet her incredible little husband, this guy behind me. He's got so much paperwork and he's so tired. He's so sleepy. It reminds me so much of like the Neil Breen in Fateful Findings when he's like in the living room typing, and his wife, who's not even talking to him, every once in a while he just stops typing to go, "I'm sorry, I'm really busy. I've got so much work to do." It's kind of hard. We'll have to I feel like next episode, because Scott still hasn't seen these last 4 episodes, these are scenes that are hard to really dive into, I think, without getting kind of to the resolution of what's happening with some of this stuff here. But we do get like 10,000 new names for characters we've never met or heard about before. And then we hear one side of a phone call. In Vegas, Dougie gets a ball thrown at him by his kid. Hutch and Chanterelle, they kill that guy and then go to Wendy's.
As you do.
At the FBI, more blue book stuff as Tammy is recruited. Who the fuck is Tommy? It's probably one of the characters that Audrey's husband mentioned. Tammy is recruited, as is Diane. That's what we get her echoing "Let's Rock." C texts Diane about Vegas. Albert and Gordon find out, and then certainly it's the scene that I quote the most from the show. The famous scene where the French lady that Gordon Cole is having a drink with takes 10 minutes to like slowly put on her shoes, stretch her legs, take a sip, check her makeup, and it's like a slow, like all these little reactions, and specifically
zero self-awareness ever,
and Gordon just loving every minute of it, and Albert is just like deadpan, just like face, no emotion on his face whatsoever. And specifically the thing, me and Bobby quote this all the time, but when she takes a sip of wine, Gordon goes, "It's a good one."
It's a good one.
And it is definitely, at the very least, in terms of quoting, this is definitely the Probably Twin Peaks. That's probably the thing I quote the most because it's just a great filler thing to say. There's nothing else to say.
All I can think of,
it has extra impact just being in the middle of this sea of just busy work of just just slowly putting on shoes and stuff. It's perfect.
And
all I can think about during these scenes is that one clip where Lynch is getting mad at someone for trying to cut one of the scenes down. He's yelling, like, why is everyone so obsessed with time? Who gives a fuck how long a scene is?
They were there. You know what?
These scenes.
He's right. He's. You know what? No,
I mean, he's right. But I can see when filming this.
You know what? But I do actually understand that, and I just the other day I was going to mention this at the end of the show, but I rewatched one of my favorite internet videos. This is Demonic Crazy, Toy Skeleton Haunted and Possessed, which is a
that's a good one.
15-minute long video, one take. It is I think it reads to me as it's like empty nesters somewhere in the Midwest. They're day drunk. I was showing it to my friend Bella. She guessed them as maybe being kind of Bible Belty. I kind of am putting them as being like formerly crunchy, now kind of like their brains are a little fried as they've gotten older. And they have this toy skeleton that's supposed to dance and say stuff, and it's just malfunctioning, and it's them just like getting it to go for like 15 minutes. Eventually it does have like a crazy build that's insane, and it does have lots of good bits on the way, but my friend did at the beginning, she was like, we're not watching this 15-minute long video, Connor, and then by the end of the video she was like, you know what, you're right. It needed to be, it being as long as it is, it taking as long as it does, like makes it better. And
I feel like we've watched that video together at least 6 times.
It's a good one. You know?
Probably while drinking. Yeah, it's a good one. Usually while drunk.
Yeah, I just love that stuff, I think. You know, I mean, that's why I love the Price Master also. That's kind of a similar vein. Even though the Price Master has a little more variety, I would say, because it's edited actually. Anyways, Diane uses Ruth's coordinates to find Twin Peaks, and it fades out to the trees and go to the roadhouse where you get a bunch of other fucking characters and names we've never heard of before. That's the end of that episode. Part 13. Ooh, we got a good scene.
Lucky 13.
Me. Not for this guy behind me. In Vegas, the Mitchums dance through the office with Dougie and the girls. They have gifted Dougie's kid. They're all everyone's all happy in that area except for Tom Sizemore. They gift Dougie's kid a crazy gym set with like a fucking spotlight. I don't know.
Doesn't it have a water fountain too?
Yeah, it has like a water fountain and stuff. It's and like lights everywhere.
The spotlight reminded me of like in old like spy shows and stuff on TV where there would be like a spotlight and the criminal would look at like freeze in the spotlight.
That's funny.
I don't know if it is intentional, like that, if that's part of the play of the set.
I don't know. I have
no idea.
It reads like a circus thing almost to me in a weird way.
Yeah.
The Las Vegas Police Department finds a connection between Dougie and C/Cooper, but they think it's a fluke. And Sizemore gets
great cops. They're good at their job.
They're really good at their job. Sizemore gets some poison and gets coffee with Dougie, intending to kill him, but he can't make himself do it, which is specifically escalates when Dougie is interested in Sizemore's dandruff, and Dougie is like touching it, and Sizemore thinks Dougie is giving him a massage.
I also took it as like a massive threat through, like he was hovering over him, like he like could have murdered him, and that's why Tom Sizemore just freaked out even more of like, no, look.
Well, That is funny how like I didn't write one of the examples down. I should have, but how Sizemore keeps thinking that Dougie is like turning the screws on him by like repeating words, but he's just doing the Dougie thing of repeating words.
That's been the best thing about it. Their whole dynamic since they initially met at the casino has just been like this one-sided thing. But like Dougie's had full control despite not having control over him. It's been great.
Mr. C shows up on Ray and Derek Mears, who he's arm wrestling with here. They arm wrestle for control of this gang, which prompts Mr. C to ask, "What is this? Kindergarten, nursery school?"
What happens when I beat you? You're the new boss. You know, it's just one of those, just like, oh, well, that's what you do. You show up at a place, you beat the boss, and you become the boss.
I feel like Ray.
I tried to start a gang like that, and I didn't get that. I never got to be the boss. Never. Like immediately.
I feel like if I was Ray, I would be more concerned about Mr. Steve being there. Wouldn't be like, yeah, this guy's gonna beat him in arm wrestling.
Oh yeah,
yeah, especially after he shot him. Like
the shit that played on episode 8. That's like,
this guy is not normal.
Yeah.
It's interesting how this gang, like the Mitchum brothers, are like a cartoon mobsters. Like this gang with the arm wrestling to become the boss thing is like very cartoonish in and of itself. But then Mr. C is like the genuine evil.
He's just
like over the top was fun. Stallone made it fun with what he does with all the maniac shit, but this is like, no, we're having no fun doing this.
It's like this would be the equivalent. This is like what they should have done in the 8th Friday the 13th, but like a scene where there's like some dumb street gang on the street in New York, and then Jason Voorhees just comes up and rips them all apart.
Yeah.
But rather than that, I'm just looking at Manhattan coming closer and closer to us from a raft.
Yeah. Great arm wrestling scene where C is just totally in control the whole time. The parts when he's like moving around, like, it hurt my arm when you had it down here, but it really hurt my arm when you had it down here. Then he switches it over. Is great.
Yeah, I appreciate how Lynch is able to make an arm wrestling thing legitimately creepy.
Yeah. And it's cool too because it kind of plays into that weird. It's weird. It's like certain parts of Cooper have like become like very diluted and stuff, and certain parts of Bob in like a weird way have become more prominent, and this gets to that weird like sadistic side of Bob, I think, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because he really is just like fucking with him. C is triumphant. What?
I was gonna say, just another testament to how great Kyle is, though, because Kyle is what's making all this, you know, how he's going from each character to character. Like, we obviously just know him as good Coop, but like to see his pure evil side is absolute pure evil. It's great.
C is triumphant. He shoots Ray and asks questions. Philip Jeffries seems to be David Bowie's character, seems to be working for the lodge to get Bob back. Or at
Can't wait
least,
to see him.
Yeah. We do actually a little bit.
Do you need any money?
Yeah.
Remember that guy?
Oh
Yeah.
Which guy?
The guy from the arm wrestling thing.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
accountant.
It's just the guy in the suit who like Mr. C looks up after he shot Ray.
Oh yeah.
And the guy's just standing there next to a hole in the wall and just asks if Mr. C needs any money. Mr. C says no, and he just walks off.
Hey, it's you know, it's important to keep your bosses happy. Ray has the ring and C makes him put it on, which Ray and the ring then get sent to the lodge, and we find out that Jeffries is at somewhere called the Dutchman's, and also the gang is watching all of this on like a giant TV screen outside, and Richard Horne is there.
That's the best, by the way. That's just the fact they have that setup going.
Tim Roth and Jennifer Jason Leigh talk about Mormons.
Absolutely.
But and then in Twin Peaks, we get a little diner scene. Bobby tries to give Norman Ed some space, but it doesn't really matter because her new beau shows up to talk business. This guy's trying to franchise the Double R, but Norma isn't so sure because we're having to cut down on the ingredients at different places. Jacoby and Nadine finally have their meet cute this season, where they talk about the gold shovel that she has in her window. And then there's like one scene at the Palmers. I just have things are weird at the Palmers written down, so I forget what happened.
This is just watching, like,
she's watching the fight, right? The boxing.
Yeah.
She's watching. It's like 15 seconds of an old boxing
looped over.
Her crave of violence ever on her TV shows is just fantastic. It was like the animals killing each other and then just boxers killing each other.
It was like a loop box of, like a loop of a boxing match.
Yeah.
Of white versus black trunks. What does it mean?
What does it mean? Speaking of things that we don't know what they mean yet, Audrey is still talking to her guy. We get a couple. She says, "I feel like I'm somewhere else." He asks, "Am I going to have to end your story too?" Again, these are things
It was top of the list of like weirdest things for someone to say without context.
Yeah. I noticed there's a reflection of Audrey. This could have just been, maybe this wasn't an intentional thing, but there's a reflection of her in one of the windows that's like completely still, that doesn't move at all, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Again, we'll talk more about that next volume. And then the Roadhouse is proud to present James Hurley doing the song.
He still got it. Still got it.
I legit got so excited. I also got to this song on my rewatch of the old show the other day, and I also got equally excited. It's the best. It's my favorite thing about James is the song. But
James Hurley's one song.
Yeah, his one hit. But Lynch got us again. I remember, Scott, you even said it. He was like, "You got me again," because we don't actually end there. We end back at James's uncle's, his Big Ed's gas farm. Ed eating slowly and burning stuff. Because I think this is the first time we've really seen Everett McGill this season. This episode.
I was gonna say, I thought that was his first appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then in our last episode of this bunch, speaking of appearances, Kyle MacLachlan isn't in this one at all. Instead, I think that the theme this episode we kind of talked about when we actually watched this one last night is it's a bunch of other characters kind of interacting with the supernatural, because we don't we typically in Twin Peaks haven't seen that as much. It's usually Cooper or one of the FBI people is the one directing with the supernatural. And we get a handful of close encounters this episode. FBI, Gordon calls Lucy. Things start also crossing over here. Frank wants to tell him about the two Coopers from Laura's diary. Albert catches Tammy up. We hear the origin of the term Blue Rose and how Cole and Jeffries are connected. They also mention tulpas for the first time. And also, seemingly, Diane is related to Janie E. They call Vegas, and we get the great... You mentioned that line, Jason, if you want to...
Wilson, how many times have I told you this is what we do in the FBI?
Yeah, the guy just fucking freaking out.
Yeah, man.
He goes from like a 2 to a 10 in like a second.
Yeah.
It's perfect because there's also like a slight delay. Like he's like, "How are you gonna do that?" And then like he thinks
it's all way off. Yeah. Wilson will do that to you.
Yeah.
It's a Wilson thing.
And then, genuinely, probably one of the most important scenes in the series, the Monica Bellucci dream sequence, where Gordon tells us about that Monica Bellucci dream he had again, where she tells him, "We are like the dreamer who dreams and then lives inside the dream, but who is the dreamer?" And it seems that through other things in the dream, I feel like Gordon and Albert kind of understand, if not specifically what's going on, they kind of understand the two Coopers thing a little bit more. That Mr. C is like a bad version of Cooper, and that I don't know if they know that there's a good version, but I think they at least understand to a certain degree. That's kind of the implication I get. But in Twin Peaks, Chad is arrested about the Richard stuff. The gang.
I just wanted to mention one little fact. In that Monica Bellucci scene, when he mentions that she looks back towards an area for something that she wants him to look at and see, and he looks back. The area that they're looking at is actually a art gallery that was exhibiting Lynch's artwork.
That's interesting.
So,
Yeah,
that is interesting.
In terms of like the dreamer having the dream, Lynch is the director. It's and just an interesting little tidbit.
it's interesting. Did they film that when he was like over there for that or something?
Yeah, I don't know if it was while the exhibit was actually going on, or if it was after the fact, where he just filmed at that spot because of the significance of like that being the gallery that showed his art. But it's just an interesting tidbit for that particular location.
Yeah,
and the specific place that Monica Bellucci looks.
It's interesting. That's really interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Back in Twin Peaks, the gang here meaning Hawk, Andy, Bobby, and Frank Truman, search the woods near Briggs' station. They find Jack Rabbit's palace. There's some ritual shit and a bunch of fog and flashing lights. They find Nato, who again I thought was Josie because it's clearly an Asian woman. So I thought the first time watching this that's what was going on, but something else is going on. A big wormhole appears and the gang loses some time, this is like a big UFO thing I always think about. There's so much like this has got to be like the Mark Frost thing. I feel like something he's putting in there to a certain degree, but that is like a real UFO thing, is like all the lost time people have when they interact with these like other
that's
supernatural
classic UFO stuff from
We just call that the Benfer
70s. And
Andy is sucked into the White Lodge where he meets the giant / the fireman and gets a big lore dump. He basically, the fireman basically just catches him up to speed on everything that's going on.
He shows him up to
he's the funniest character to have sent there to be given the information.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it was so effective, because like of all the characters, you just do not expect him to like be dealing with this stuff.
Yeah.
He deals with it great though. He's a fucking stud. In the next scene, he reappears with Naito, and he's just like, she's very important and people want her dead. And it's just like in total command of the situation. We meet the fucked up guy at the station who's in a lot of the last part of this season, and he drives Chad crazy by repeating Naito's monkey noises in the cells, and he's just repeating everything, kind of like Dougie, weirdly.
Weren't they doing that? Isn't that like a callback to like the very first episode when like Bobby and James were in the jail cells and they were making monkey noises?
It might be partially, but they weren't fucked up like that.
Yeah.
I also think it's interesting that her, like, she very clearly, like, amps up her volume and the speed of her conversation as if she's responding to the guy mimicking her.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means anything, but it's there's something going on there.
We meet Hulk Hand Lad, whose name I didn't catch, who works security with James, who he calls Jimmy. More lore about the Hulk hand. The glove is stuck to his hand. It's like a rubber glove. It's not actually a Hulk hand. It's like a rubber green glove.
I love learning about this glove in episode 14.
Yeah. Well, there's not much to learn.
A new character.
Yeah.
A new character.
I mean, it's pretty simple.
And a glove. Green glove.
He had a crisis in London. He got sucked into the White Lodge, just like Andy did. The fireman tells him about the glove, which basically gives him Iron Fist powers, and then he tells him to go to Twin Peaks. That's the whole story. James loves it. He's like, this is a great story.
Great birthday present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's James's birthday. Oh, it's Jimmy's birthday. Also, Jimmy checks on the furnace at the Great Northern, and it's that sound again. And we get the Sarah Palmer scene I keep thinking has been going to happen all season, where some guy at a weird bar tries to hit on her and gets fucking super weird about it, and then she peels her face back and has like weird shadow man features behind her face and a stinger that comes out and eats his neck. And then she kind of freaks out about it, but then she kind of, when the bar owner's like, what happened here, she's kind of like, I don't know, it was a mystery, I guess.
Well, I think she did that intentionally. She's like, oh, I'm going to play the whole for me victim role. And that's why it was so great when she's like just dead on looking at him being all like, oh, is it an error? Or, like, it was great.
Real mystery.
Yeah, it's such a mystery.
Yeah, because she makes that attempt to like play like she doesn't know what's going on, and then as soon as she realizes she's not believed, it's like, all right, fine.
Well, she tried to put up, like, I don't know, he just fell down. Like, he must have had a heart attack. But like,
I'm just smoking in
next
over here.
Yeah, this is the biggest scene as to why I think she's the girl who gets the bug in her mouth in part 8. 'Cause that's the bug. That's the bug going soup 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 outside her mouth.
That's that bug in her.
She got that bug in her. And then we end the episode up at the Roadhouse. Some ladies we've never met talk about a nut house and start specifically mentioning all of those like random names that Audrey has mentioned. And because this episode used some clips from Fire Walk With Me, it is dedicated to the memory of David Jones, aka David Bowie, whatever Daniel Jones. What's his real name? Isn't it David Jones?
Yeah.
I wasn't asking you fucker. I was asking Bri / possibly Jason. Because I was like,
yeah, it's David Jones. It's David Robert Jones.
Yes. Good.
What?
Bonus points there.
Bonus points indeed. But let's
just like God, it's a lot easier just to do
the. Do y'all have any other remarks on these episodes of Twin Peaks: The Return?
It's fun watching it the first time to see how it's all starting to come together. Like, I knew it would eventually. I don't know if it'll all necessarily make sense, but I knew it wasn't just nonsense for the sake of nonsense.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, some of it is nonsense for the sake of nonsense. Yeah. But I mean, like, as a whole, I knew it was all going somewhere. So I'm really excited about this final batch of episodes.
Yeah, I think we're definitely gonna watch those last 3 all together. You should come over for that, Bobby. Also, that'll be in a couple weeks. You too, Jason.
The last three.
Yeah.
The last 3 Twin Peaks returns.
Yeah, in a couple
weeks.
There's
4 more.
There's 4 more, but we're gonna just watch the last 3 all together in a couple weeks.
Okay.
But yeah, oh my God, there's the fucking portal opened again. Oh, it's sucking us into.
Remember? No.
Connor's Wicked game. Sorry, Bobby. He waited too long. I literally gave an opening. I was like, anything else?
It was just nonsense. Anyway. I was just gonna say bullshit.
Every week, like Jigsaw, I like to play a little game. Sponsored by Chris Isaac. This week, Twin Peaks Roll Call: The Return. I have a bunch of actors from Twin Peaks. All of them are in The Return. I also have a bunch of other movies they've starred in. I'm going to read a movie in their role, and the first person to yell out a guess gets the points if they're correct. After each movie I read, the points will lessen. So 6 points after the first, 4 after the second, 2 after the third. And your guesses can be vague, like, for instance, Russ Tamblyn, Dr. Jacoby, psychiatrist with 3D glasses, fucking Hawaiian white guy with the fucking shovels or whatever the fuck. These would all be valid guesses for the same answer, which is Russ Tamblyn as Dr. Jacoby. Everyone gets 1 official guess for each question, and I'm adding 1 twist, which I'll kind of explain more in a second, but after someone makes their official guess before I reveal whether or not it's correct, the others can make a wager on if they're right or not. And so let us start with Well, no, it's no one's starting. This is all. I'm just gonna read out these names, and someone make a guess. Does anybody know who played Fred in Extreme Movie? No guesses here. All right.
Is that Lucas, the guy who plays Fred on YouTube?
Yes. YouTube's Fred, yeah.
No, it is not.
Okay.
All right, I'll say next one. He plays himself in This Is the End.
Michael Cera.
Does anybody who would like to wager a point whether Scott is correct or not?
I'll wager a point and go on Scott. Yeah, like I agree with Scott.
I think that's
I'll
right.
wager a point that he's correct. And
Yeah. So Scott, you get 4 points, and everyone else gets 1 point.
Hell
And his
yeah.
third credit I had was Scott Pilgrim and Scott Pilgrim versus the World. But yes, he is Michael Cera as Wally Brando Brennan. Next up, we're going to start with this person played Chloe Sweeney in Chloe. No guesses, no takers. She played Mary Mensana in First Reformed.
Can you give us some clues from movies I've seen?
Lastly, she played Sophie Sheridan in Mamma Mia.
Amanda Seinfeld. Seinfeld.
Who thinks Scott is right and who thinks he's wrong, and you can also abstain if you don't want to, because if you get this part wrong, you lose a point.
I'm gonna wager that he's wrong.
I'm gonna wager.
Is that how that works?
He's right.
Oh fuck!
So Scott, yeah, you're at 6 points. Sorry, Bri, Vavi, y'all go down
That's
one.
my fault. I should always trust in Scott. Like I know better. I don't know why.
Jason,
I think
up to
Scott's
2.
hesitant. That's what made me hesitant.
Yeah,
I'm just a big Mamma Mia fan, so.
So the Greek thing.
I was like,
Amanda.
well, she's the only one in Mamma Mia.
Well, you're a big Mario
I forgot
fan.
she was in First Reformed, actually, and I have seen that. I was thinking of a different movie. But
Jason just really likes Mario, so he likes more Mamma Mia movies.
any movie that
Super Mario 64 fan.
That was Amanda Seyfried as Becky Burnett. Okay, next up, who played Mrs. DeLuca in Wish Upon?
I don't fucking know these movies.
what the
Know any of these?
The first one's always really tough, and then I feel like it gets easier. She
The first
also
one is like directly on Tubi.
she also played Helena in Boxing Helena.
Oh, that one. Oh shit.
I know these. I would know it at this point. But
That's easy to stay on that side of the fence.
I don't know. And she played also Girl in Accident and Wild at Heart.
Yeah.
He's,
Oh man.
You can name their character on Twin Peaks also.
Audrey. It's yeah. What's her name? Why my brain is
That is okay enough for what does everybody else think?
I'll wager that you're right.
I'm gonna, Brian's believed in me, so I will believe in Brian.
Sure,
We'll
yeah.
see.
Yep, that's 2
Shirley-
points for
Shirley
Brian,
Benn.
1 point
Shirley
for everyone
Benn.
else.
Just for I have like a framed photo. I met her like during this when they did the big promo run for this series. I met her and she was like super cool and I really like her a lot. But then she like during the COVID pandemic she got a little weird. But I haven't really chat back in yet. But she got a little crazy. But she was super sweet when I did meet her.
Who played David in Resurrection? No takers.
It's the
on this
Alien
one.
movie.
They also played Mitchell in The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover, which is a great title.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Speaking of cook, I'm cooked if I don't know any of these actors.
Lastly, they've played Emil Blonsky / The Abomination in various films.
Tim Roth.
Tim Roth.
I
I'm
got Tim. I got Tim Roth like a second before the other guy.
If it's correct, I'm gonna give it to Bobby. But what do the others think? Are they gonna say yes or no on that one?
Yeah.
I got the Marvel one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. There's confidence in that.
Scott.
I voted for it, so
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, no, that is indeed Tim Roth as something Hutchins. Forget what his first
That's
name
one of the
was.
ones that you put in so I can get one.
Yeah. This actor played additional voice in Babe, Pig in the City.
Oh, that person.
Who?
They also played Don Campbell in I Heart Huckabees. No takers. Lastly, they played Rachel Keller in The Ring.
Oh,
Naomi Watts.
It was Bri was first. I assume you guys are gonna say, Jason, do you think that Bri is right on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. At least y'all are getting like a little point.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that is Naomi Watts as Janie E. Jones. I feel like Babe Pig in the City is actually weirdly kind of a good clue considering the Australian connection, because I'm guessing that's why
true.
she's an additional voice. But
I forgot she was in I Heart Huckabees. It's been a while since I've seen that one.
Yeah, same.
I haven't seen any of those movies in a while.
next up, Tom the John Deere dealer in The Straight Story.
The guy, the landlord of the trailer park in Twin Peaks: The Return.
You're
What's
talking
the
about
old guy?
You're guessing Harry Dean Stanton, other people?
Yeah.
You yay or nay on that one?
I'm gonna say yay.
I'm gonna yay that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
All three of you lose a point, and Bobby, you use your opportunity to guess.
Oh, bullshit!
I thought-
Man, I'm never gonna believe Bobby again.
Was he even in The Straight Story?
This actor also played
my bad.
Stilgar in
Sorry,
Dune. They were Stilgar in Dune.
God.
Fuck.
It's not Javier Bardem.
Yeah, what the, oh my god.
That's fine.
What's his character's name?
Lastly,
I know this one.
they
It's-
played. Ooh,
Well, yeah, it's the guy who is in love with the diner woman.
that's a good enough close for me. Scott and Bri, do you think that he is correct on that?
Yeah, I gotta even out.
Yeah.
I gotta even out my point that I lost.
That is in fact Everett McGill as Big Ed Hurley. He was also Eldon Daddy Robeson in
That's
The
it.
People Under the
Man, I
Stairs.
really,
Ed, yeah.
man, I really Benford that one. Sorry, guys.
Well, it's all right because I got my point back. So
I don't know why I was so confident in that.
Who played Bridget in Hey Arnold, the movie?
Oh, man,
I missed that one.
I was it was on my list last night.
That's
Would have been better than the escape room.
the receptionist at the police station.
You're guessing. Okay, what do other people
I
think?
forgot her fucking name.
Yay or nay on that one? You can also abstain.
I'm gonna abstain on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna abstain.
All right, you're wrong, Poppy.
Yeah, I should.
This
Like,
person
man, you miss
is
100% of the shots that you miss.
this person also played Girder in Possessor.
Just feels good guessing anyway. Even if I didn't.
Oh, sorry, Jennifer Jason Leigh. I had to think about it for a second. Which one was what?
Jason and Scott, what do y'all think?
Yeah, no, that's right.
It's like in honor. I have the shirt of it today.
Yeah, I guess you have to get that one.
Yeah, oh yeah. Scott, are you gonna agree?
I agree.
Yeah, that's correct. And she also was she's Chantel Hutchins. She was also Amy Archer in the Hudsucker Proxy. Lonnie, who played Lonnie in the Belko Experiment. No guesses. This actor also played Thomas Schiff in The Dark Knight.
I just watched The Dark Knight 2 weeks ago.
Thomas Schiff.
Lastly, they played Abner Krill / the Polka Dot Man in The Suicide Squad.
Oh, the guy.
David.
He was in the casino.
Yeah, I can't think of
He's the guy from Late Night with the Devil.
That was like an overlap, so I'm gonna give that to both of them because they kind of gave half guesses at the same time.
Yeah.
Bri and Jason, do you think they're correct?
If that's the answer to the David, yeah, that's the one. Yes.
Yes, that is in fact David Dastmalchian as pit boss Warren. This is a close ass game. Next up, who played Paul Larkin in Atlas Shrugged Part 1? It's hard out there, fellas.
I only saw Part 2.
Yeah, and I went to 2 as well.
They were also comic fan in Under the Silver Lake. No takers. Lastly, they were Dan in Mulholland Drive.
Oh, that's the guy from Winky's.
Yep.
He's the.
I'll give you that as the guess. Do people think that that's correct
the
or not?
Winky's guy.
Yeah, it's the Winky.
Yeah, Winky's guy.
Yeah.
That is, in fact, it is the Winkies guy. Also, I always think about him as the Utz guy from Mad Men.
What's his actual name?
Patrick Fischler as Duncan Todd, Mr. Todd. Next up, who played paint store owner's wife in Cuffs?
The fuck? No one.
Oh.
No one.
It's a ghost. They also played Jessica Shepard in Twisted.
Ooh.
No takers.
This is gonna
Lastly,
be a big one.
they played Agnes White in Bug.
Oh shit.
Ashley Judd.
I was literally just about to say that.
So I'll assume you agree, Bri, Scott, and
I'll
Bobby.
agree, yeah.
Yes, that is Ashley Judd as. Bobby, did you agree? I forget.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Edwin would not agree that at this point. That's the only difference.
Nah, that is good.
Yeah, as Beverly Page. Okay, last two. Sid March in Antiviral.
I've seen that. You're going harder than Cronenberg today. I like it.
Yeah.
Harder than Cronenberg.
They also played Sean Cassidy / Banshee in X-Men First Class. No takers.
Oh.
Lastly, they were Jeremy Armitage in Get Out. Ooh. No takers on this one.
Which one's Banshee?
He's the guy who screams.
Yeah.
He's a screamer.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna
Screamers.
pass on this one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is Caleb Landry Jones as Stephen Burnett, aka the guy that Becky, Shelley and Bobby's daughter is dating and having, or married to and having a problem with. All right, last.
Oh, is he the brother in Get Out?
Yeah, he's the brother in Get Out. I feel like that's his that and for his like big role, I was either gonna put that or he was also in that 3 Billboards movie. I feel like those are his. And when I think of him, he's a good actor. Good weirdo. Who played lastly Schaff in Recycled?
Shaw. Oh gosh.
SCHOPF.
I think that was Edwin.
Yeah, I think Edwin. Yeah.
They were also part of the band called The Problems in Paul Schrader's Light of Day. No takers.
No.
They also played Johnny in David Bowie, I'm Afraid of Americans.
Oh, Trent Reznor.
What do other people think about that one? Do you think he's correct or no?
I don't. I mean, I know they did that. They did the song together, but I don't think it's.
I would say no.
Yeah.
I'll say no.
I don't think Trent Reznor is in no Paul Schrader movie.
Yeah, I don't think so. That would be an amazing thing. I mean, these days I could see it happening, but not.
Well,
Final answer.
Well,
Trent Reznor.
Congratulations to everyone except Bobby, because you're all wrong. Bobby's the one who's right. It was Trent Reznor.
Oh, wow.
With that mix-up in points, you actually lowered your score, Bri, to tie with Bobby for third. So you guys both get bronze medals. That's
me.
Trent Reznor as part of the 9 Inch Nails. Jason gets a silver, Scott gets a gold. But the points are literally 11, 12, 13. So
Wow.
it was really very close on that one.
Fuck
And
this game.
Scott, do you have your little bit?
I do.
All right, cool. Let's go over to Scott.
All right, welcome to Scott's Comic Corner, brought to you by Eric Clapton and the Silver Mustang
Jesus
Casino. Get a jackpot, but not too many. This week, Wolverine turns 400, Doom reigns supreme, and Spider-Man starts over. So first up, we got Wolverine Legacy issue number 400 came out a few weeks ago. I've been enjoying the run. It's been written by Saladin Ahmed, art by Martin, I think it's Counts Coloco. This was good. It was sort of the end of the first arc of their run. Basically, Wolverine, there's this creature called the Wendigo. It's a curse that comes on you if you resort to cannibalism, which this kid did because he got stranded with his friend. So Wolverine's been trying to teach him to face his anger and not just be bloodlust. It's been a good series, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they go next. So that's that. Then One World Under Doom, issue 3. This is still from Ryan North and R.B. Silver. I will say it's starting to get a little repetitive. So far, it's just been, Avengers trying to defeat Doom and Doom just being one step ahead of them. It looks like they even say in this, like, this is just the start of the first act.
Okay.
And it kind of feels like that. We're like, all right, I'm ready to get to the next act. But it looks like we're headed that way in issue 4. It's going to be Doom versus Dormammu. So I think that'll be fun. And then I'll be starting the next arc of this whole series. It's going to be a 9-issue run altogether. So I've been enjoying it, but I am looking forward to the next phase of this story. But the big news is that Amazing Spider-Man has started over. With Joe Kelly doing the writing.
Yeah. People did not like that last run.
No.
Where he was getting cucked.
Yeah, I didn't read it enough to speak to it in the story. I jumped on at the very end when Joe Kelly, they did this series called The 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, which I wasn't a huge fan of.
Yeah.
Too many issues, and for a long period of time, he just kind of bowed out, and we all knew that was going to last, but it was too long of him moping. But I like this one so far. Issue 1 and issue 2 have both come out so far. One thing, the difference is Joe Kelly's writing the whole series. With that 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, he was only writing a few issues in the series, and it just wasn't holding up. I really like issue 1. It has a pretty cool cover.
Cool.
Yeah. So far, I think it's been a pretty strong start. So I'm looking forward to seeing where the series goes, and maybe if we can course correct a little bit. So there we go. But one last thing, a shout out: this Saturday is Free Comic Book Day. So go to your local comic book shop and grab a few comics.
Sweet. If you're watching live on Twitch, if this is once this is posted, it will not be this Saturday anymore.
It's Saturday, May 3rd.
Yeah. Anybody got anything else? I'd love to get motherfucking into Genocide, Palestine, Congo City, and everywhere else. I needed to pick me up this last week, so I decided to watch the miniseries Chernobyl, which was just kind of a laugh a minute, a real knee slapper. And then it was really good.
Well, what do you expect from the writer of The Hangover?
Yeah, exactly. It's the guy. He directed The Specials, the James Gunn early superhero film. One of my favorite current bands, Viagra Boys, just released their new album, Viagra Boys, and it's really great. And our friend Josh did his first event for Tesseract Cinema. We did a screening of Clueless, a little bake sale. I think, both me and Bri contributed in different ways. Bri was there selling their candles. I created like a pre-show for it. You can find them at Tesseract Cinema on Instagram and maybe some other places. And if you're in the LA area, they got some other events. They've got a David Lynch event, which might also be in the past by the time this comes out, because to be fair, this might take me a couple weeks to fully edit. But if you're watching this on Twitch and you're in the LA area, check out their event. But yeah,
there'll be an event in June at the Frida. That'll be the
cool.
But
Sweet.
That's enough timing for.
Oh yeah. It's my birthday, so it's the slowdown, and thankfully it's part of the Twin Peaks thing, so I don't have to tie it to a movie that has come out, and I'm trying to catch the cycle of getting it out within like a week of its release. But yeah, anyone else wants to shout out?
I saw Sinners a couple times. I really liked it. Check it out. Ryan Coogler, good director, and
it seems to be taking over. It's funny because I know over at Universal their screenings were sold out so much for that 70mm IMAX screening, but then tomorrow the Thunderbolts come in, which it looks like it's gonna have a good weekend with the pre-sale, but it's still wild to have to cut one massively successful film right when it could, because this thing could go on for. I mean,
I was wondering if they were going to keep it going for a little longer. I didn't think so, just because it's Marvel. I feel like it had been just about any other movie, they might have tried to push it for another week.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see if it comes back.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, it'll come back for sure.
Did you guys get a chance to see it on 70?
No. I haven't yet. No, I was until I saw, because after we saw it, I was like, oh, I'll go check it out next week over Universal, and then that's when I saw every screening.
Yeah,
beyond sold out, which is nuts.
I went to a 10 o'clock screening last Friday, and it was literally just one of those I was checking, hoping that somebody was going to, and luckily I did, so I was able to get one. But that was the only way I was going to be able to see it, is just because I couldn't believe it all week. It was, and not even oh, I couldn't get a good seat. This is fucking sold out.
Oppenheimer day one.
People are excited.
Yeah, no, and it's good. But that's what's great about it is we go through so many where it's empty and.
Thank you, Chicken Jockey.
Yeah, thank you, Chicken Jockey.
Movies are back. Movies are back.
I want to go to different movies and yell Chicken Jockey. But
could have done that at David Cronenberg last weekend. That would have been a good film to show up at.
Freak out, rend my garments. But yeah, Twin Peaks Club will return in late May with the last 4 parts of The Return. Not really sure what the next episode is going to be. It could end up being that. Again, this is a busy time with my birthday and stuff. So, and I've got this other thing I'm working on, which that'll probably be out the arm's length video for Shunkin. Thanks to Brian here for composing our outro. I do know if Twin Peaks Club 13 isn't the next one, it'll be our Mission Impossible series special when the Final Reckoning comes out. But part of that will depend on Daniel's unborn child and whether they come early or not, because I have if that kid usurps Daniel's ability to be able to see Mission Impossible 8 with all his buddies in IMAX, I'm gonna have beef with this child before it's born. And so it'll be on site. Follow us on CinemaCurse 666 TikTok, Instagram. Smash that like button, like and subscribe. Share this episode with your local cartoon gang. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, and I love everybody.
All right.
Bye.
See you guys later.